Winning with Consistency: How to Develop the Habits of High Achievers. Introduction. The Path to Unseen Excellence. There's a quiet but powerful force that shapes the lives of the most successful people. It's not raw talent, extraordinary luck, or even bursts of inspiration. It's the simple, unglamorous act of showing up consistently, day after day. While the world often celebrates the dramatic, the flashy, and the quick wins, those who achieve extraordinary things tend to operate differently. They don't wait for motivation to strike. They don't rely on sheer willpower to get them through the tough days. They rely on something far more powerful: their habits. Success isn't a momentary event. It's the accumulation of thousands of small, intentional actions taken over time. The truth is, anyone can learn to unlock this power, but it requires more than just good intentions. It requires a commitment to the long road, a willingness to do the work even when it's not glamorous, and the ability to stay consistent even when the results aren't immediate. The most successful people in any field understand this principle deeply. They know that it's not about having perfect days or flawless execution. It's about making the choice to stick with the process, no matter what, until success becomes inevitable. What separates those who rise to the top from those who fall short is their ability to stay in the game when everyone else is ready to quit. Consistency isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. The difference between dreamers and achievers is that the achievers simply show up and keep going, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Over time, this small but relentless effort compounds into something much larger. So the question isn't whether you can do this or if you have what it takes. The question is, are you ready to commit to the small, consistent actions that will make you a high achiever? Are you ready to let go of the need for instant results and embrace the journey, knowing that each step you take is part of building a lasting legacy of success? Chapter 1. The Power of Consistency. The journey toward achievement is not made in leaps and bounds, but in small, deliberate steps taken over time. The most transformative results are often invisible at first, hidden beneath the surface of everyday actions. The power of showing up every day lies in the ability to trust that these seemingly insignificant moments of effort accumulate and compound into something greater than any single action on its own. Success is the product of consistency, of making the choice to continue, regardless of external circumstances, emotions, or immediate feedback. There's a unique kind of strength in consistency. It's not about pushing through every obstacle with brute force or making grand gestures. It's about the quiet determination to keep going when motivation fades, when distractions arise, or when the finish line feels too far to see. What separates those who achieve extraordinary results from those who fall short is the willingness to do what is necessary, even when it's uncomfortable or the payoff seems distant. It's the people who refuse to give up after a setback who, over time, build the true strength of character and success. The remarkable part is how little efforts, repeated over time, can lead to astonishing changes. The human tendency is to focus on the grand, the monumental. Yet, more often than not, it's the small, repeated actions, those that may seem trivial in the moment, that have the most lasting impact. Every time you choose to act, no matter how small the step, you are reinforcing the process that eventually leads to extraordinary results. The magic of consistency is that while one day of action may seem insignificant, it's the sum of many such days that creates momentum. It's that momentum that propels you forward far beyond what you could achieve by focusing only on big, isolated actions. Consider a sculptor chiseling away at a block of marble. Each strike of the chisel may seem minor, almost imperceptible, but over time, the sculpture takes shape. The final masterpiece is not created by one grand movement, but by a series of small, consistent decisions, each one leading to the next. This is the essence of the power of consistency. The quiet accumulation of effort, day by day, shaping the trajectory of your success. As much as talent and opportunity matter, the ability to show up and give your best effort consistently is the true differentiator. In a world full of distractions, it is easy to underestimate the importance of this steady, persistent effort. Yet it is precisely in the mundane, the repeated and the habitual that greatness is forged. The routines we build and the habits we form are not mere actions. They are the building blocks of our futures. Through consistency, we program ourselves for achievement and excellence, regardless of external circumstances. In the beginning, results may seem sparse. You may feel as if you are putting in more effort than you are receiving in return. But trust in the process, because the real rewards come in the long run, not as sudden bursts of success, but as the natural consequence of sustained effort. The path to greatness is not always a straight line, nor does it offer instant gratification. But as the years unfold, the results of showing up consistently will become clear, like the roots of a tree growing deeper with every passing season, providing a foundation strong enough to weather any storm. As you continue to put in the work, even when the rewards are not immediate, you begin to trust the process itself. You start to understand that success is not always about the immediate outcome, but about the integrity of the effort. The habits you form and the consistency you demonstrate become reflections of who you are becoming, rather than just the results of what you are doing. With every day you commit to this path, you reinforce the belief that success is built one small step at a time. And over time, that belief becomes the very thing that fuels your progress, pushing you toward the extraordinary achievements that were once beyond reach. Chapter 2. Understanding the High Achiever's Mindset. Success is not a product of chance, nor is it merely a consequence of innate talent. It is driven by a mindset that is firmly rooted in the belief that consistent effort, focused intention, and unwavering commitment to growth lead to the achievement of extraordinary results. High achievers understand this implicitly. They do not see challenges as roadblocks, but as opportunities to sharpen their skills and move closer to their goals. They thrive on setbacks, viewing them not as failures, but as feedback. What sets them apart is their deep, almost instinctive belief that their actions, no matter how small, will lead them to the success they envision. This belief is the cornerstone of everything they accomplish. The traits that high achievers possess often go unnoticed in the hustle and bustle of immediate rewards and quick success. They are not flashy or dramatic in their approach. Instead, they exhibit a quiet persistence, a determination that moves forward regardless of the pace or obstacles. Resilience becomes second nature, not because they are impervious to difficulty, but because they have learned to view difficulty as part of the process, not something to be avoided. Their commitment to their goals is not swayed by temporary discomfort, because they know that real success is not about momentary gratification, but about long-term progress. One of the most defining characteristics of high achievers is their ability to stay focused on the bigger picture. They understand that true success doesn't happen overnight. It is the result of sustained, purposeful action taken over time. They are not distracted by the distractions that often derail others. Where most people may feel tempted to jump from one opportunity to the next, high achievers remain steadfast in their pursuit, adjusting their course as needed, but never losing sight of their ultimate objective. It is this unwavering focus that allows them to build the kind of habits that make their success inevitable. Mindset and habits are not separate entities, but are intricately linked in the creation of sustained achievement. A high achiever's mindset shapes the habits they form, and those habits in turn reinforce their mindset. When faced with setbacks, they don't abandon the path, they adjust, learn, and improve. Their mindset drives them to make decisions that align with their long-term vision, even when the results are not immediately apparent. It is this approach that allows them to develop habits that serve them in the long run, habits that are centered on growth, perseverance, and a constant desire to improve. For high achievers, consistency becomes a way of life. It is not a strategy, but a reflection of their mindset. Where others may focus on talent or luck, high achievers understand that talent alone is insufficient. Talent may open doors, but it is consistency that determines who walks through them. They know that relying solely on talent can lead to complacency. It is through consistency, the daily commitment to the process, that they achieve real mastery. The work is never done. Each day builds upon the last, and with each repetition, they inch closer to excellence. This distinction between talent and consistency is often misunderstood. Talent is the natural ability to perform a task, but it is not the determining factor in sustained success. Talent might allow someone to perform well once or twice, but only consistency can ensure that performance is repeatable and sustainable. High achievers invest in consistency because they know that talent, unrefined and untested, remains dormant. It is through deliberate practice, through the habit of continually challenging themselves, that their abilities are refined and perfected over time. While others may burn brightly in the short term, it is those who commit to the slow, steady burn of consistency who stand the test of time. High achievers are not looking for shortcuts or immediate gratification. They are willing to put in the effort, to show up even when the rewards seem distant or unclear. Their mindset allows them to endure the long haul, knowing that their consistent actions are paving the way for greatness. And with every day, every decision, and every habit they reinforce, they inch closer to realizing their fullest potential. This unwavering commitment to the process, this understanding that consistency trumps talent, is at the core of high achievement. High achievers don't wait for motivation to strike. They create their own motivation through their daily habits. It's through this quiet, steadfast consistency that they transform their mindset from one of possibility to one of inevitability. They do not ask whether they can succeed. They know they will, because they understand the power of their own commitment to the journey. Chapter 3. Forming lasting habits. Habits are the invisible forces that guide our lives. We often think of habits as mundane or automatic, but in reality, they are the foundation of success, growth, and achievement. The actions we repeat over time define who we become, and the power of these repeated actions lies in their ability to create lasting change. But how do these habits form? How do they stick? And more importantly, how do we consciously shape them to support our long-term goals? At their core, habits are a result of the brain's natural drive to seek efficiency. When we perform an action repeatedly, the brain creates neural pathways that reinforce this behavior, making it easier to perform over time. This process of automaticity allows us to focus on more complex tasks, while the basics, our habits, run in the background. However, while this automaticity is crucial for maintaining productivity, it's also why bad habits can be so difficult to break. The brain doesn't differentiate between productive and unproductive behaviors. It simply strengthens the paths we travel most frequently. To form lasting habits, we must first understand the mechanisms behind them. The brain craves repetition, but not just any repetition. The key to forming a habit lies in consistency and reinforcement. It's not enough to simply repeat an action once or twice and expect it to stick. The brain needs to associate the behavior with a reward, whether that reward is tangible or emotional. The more the brain experiences positive outcomes, whether it's a feeling of accomplishment, pleasure, or satisfaction, the more likely it is to reinforce that behavior as a habit. This process is akin to training, where consistency, feedback, and reward lead to mastery. Turning effort into routine requires more than just focus. It requires strategy. To transform an action into a lasting habit, it must become part of the fabric of your daily life. This is why creating small, manageable actions is key. Trying to overhaul everything at once can be overwhelming and often leads to burnout. The process of habit formation needs to be incremental. Start with something small, something easy to achieve, and then build upon it. This creates a feeling of momentum and reinforces the idea that success is achievable. The more you prove to yourself that small actions lead to bigger results, the more your brain will accept and internalize these behaviors as part of your identity. Practical steps to make habits stick often come down to setting yourself up for success in the smallest of ways. One powerful approach is to link new habits to existing ones. This is known as habit stacking. For example, if you already have a habit of having coffee every morning, you can stack a new habit, like reading a few pages of a book, immediately after. This creates a seamless transition from an established behavior to a new one, making the new habit feel natural and integrated. By pairing a new behavior with an action you already do routinely, you're leveraging the consistency of an existing habit to create a foundation for the new one. Environment plays a crucial role in habit formation. Our surroundings influence our actions in profound ways. If you want to create a habit of exercising every morning, the first step might be as simple as laying out your workout clothes the night before. This small change makes the process easier by reducing friction. Similarly, removing distractions and triggers that undermine your goals can make a significant impact. The more you can design your environment to encourage positive behaviors, the easier it becomes to maintain those habits. It's about removing obstacles and making the desired behavior the path of least resistance. One of the most important aspects of forming lasting habits is patience. The idea that habits form overnight is a myth. Just as it takes time to build muscle, it takes time to build habits that last. And during this time, consistency is the key. It's not about being perfect, it's about showing up. The beauty of habits is that they don't require you to be motivated all the time. They simply require you to be consistent. Motivation can ebb and flow, but habits thrive on routine. As you repeat the behavior, it becomes ingrained in your daily life, almost to the point where it feels like second nature. This is when habits shift from being a conscious effort to becoming an automatic part of who you are. Tracking your progress also plays a vital role in habit formation. Humans are visual creatures. We like to see progress, especially when the journey feels long. Whether you track your habits in a journal, on an app, or with a calendar, visually noting your consistency reinforces your commitment. This practice not only serves as a reminder of the progress you've made, but also helps you stay motivated through the tough moments when it feels like you're not moving forward. Every small win builds the belief that success is possible, and those little victories compound over time to create lasting change. Lastly, resilience is the silent force that keeps habits intact. Inevitably, life will throw obstacles your way, disruptions, distractions, or even setbacks. The key is not to view these interruptions as failures, but as part of the process. High achievers understand that habits aren't broken by a single slip-up, but by abandoning the effort altogether. If you miss a day, a week, or even a month, don't abandon the goal. Pick up where you left off. True resilience in habit formation comes not from never falling, but from the ability to get back on track after a fall. Forming lasting habits is not about rigid discipline or willpower alone. It's about creating a system that supports your goals, building small wins, and making the process of habit formation a natural part of your life. When you trust the process and stay committed to the daily actions that shape your future, your habits will become the cornerstone of your success. The small, repeated actions you take today will lay the foundation for the results you achieve tomorrow. Chapter 4. The Role of Discipline in Success. Discipline is the quiet force that turns intentions into achievements. While motivation often comes in waves, sometimes surging with intensity, other times fading away, discipline remains steady. It's the unwavering commitment to the actions that matter, regardless of how you feel in the moment. Motivation is fleeting. Discipline is a constant. It's the difference between those who dream of success and those who live it. While motivation can spark an idea or provide the initial momentum, it is discipline that carries you across the finish line, especially when the journey gets tough and the enthusiasm starts to wane. The beauty of discipline lies in its power to override the fleeting nature of emotions and external circumstances. We often think of success as something that comes from bursts of inspiration or extraordinary events, but in truth, success is built through the slow, consistent application of effort. When you rely on motivation alone, you're vulnerable to the ebbs and flows of your emotional state. There will be days when you don't feel like showing up, days when obstacles seem insurmountable, and days when distractions pull you in every direction. Motivation can't be counted on during these times. But discipline? Discipline shows up regardless of how you feel. It's the quiet resolve to do what needs to be done, even when it feels hard, even when it's not glamorous, and even when no one is watching. Discipline is not about rigidly following rules or forcing yourself into a mold of perfection. It's about aligning your actions with your values, your goals, and your vision for the future. It's about making choices in the present that support the person you want to become tomorrow. The power of discipline is its ability to create momentum, often without you even realizing it. Every time you choose to act with discipline, whether it's getting up early to work, saying no to a distraction, or following through on a promise to yourself, you reinforce the belief that success is inevitable. Small, disciplined actions, when repeated consistently, add up over time to create massive results. Building self-control is one of the most challenging aspects of personal development, but it is also one of the most rewarding. Self-control isn't about denying yourself what you want. It's about consciously choosing what will move you closer to your long-term goals, even when it's easier to give in to immediate gratification. It's a muscle that strengthens over time through practice and awareness. The more you exercise self-control, the easier it becomes to make choices that align with your goals rather than succumbing to short-term desires. Self-control is about recognizing that what feels good in the moment may not serve you in the long run, and that sometimes the greatest act of self-love is the ability to say no to the things that distract you from your true potential. Over time, the practice of discipline and self-control compounds. What once felt difficult becomes second nature. Initially, the act of resisting temptation, sticking to your routine, or pushing through challenges may feel like an uphill battle. But as you build discipline, your capacity to persevere grows. You start to see setbacks as temporary, and your belief in your ability to stay committed becomes unshakable. You no longer view discipline as a burden, but as the vehicle that carries you toward your goals. It's no longer something you have to do, but something you choose because you recognize the profound impact it has on your personal growth and success. Discipline and personal growth are inextricably linked. As you grow in discipline, you grow in character. The process of building self-control and consistency forces you to face discomfort, push through limitations, and confront the parts of yourself that are resistant to change. This is where the magic happens. Personal growth doesn't occur in moments of ease. It occurs when you challenge yourself, step outside of your comfort zone, and commit to a higher standard. Discipline is the mechanism that makes this possible. Without it, personal growth would be sporadic and unpredictable. With discipline, growth becomes a steady, continuous process. Through disciplined action, you not only shape your habits and behaviors, but also your mindset. You become someone who can rely on yourself, who follows through on commitments, and who understands that success is not a matter of waiting for the right moment, but of creating the right moments through consistent effort. Discipline teaches you that growth is less about dramatic change and more about incremental progress. It's in the small, everyday choices that you decide who you're becoming. With each act of discipline, you build the foundation for the life you desire, one choice at a time. Chapter 5. Making consistency a daily practice. Success is not something that happens by chance or luck. It is the result of consistent effort. But consistency doesn't appear on its own. It must be nurtured, cultivated, and integrated into the very fabric of your daily life. The foundation of consistency is built through the way you design your days. Every decision, no matter how small, either takes you closer to or further from your goals. To be consistent, you must take deliberate actions that align with your vision and commit to them every day without exception. Designing your day for success begins with intention. Successful people don't wait for inspiration or motivation to strike. They plan their day in a way that makes their goals inevitable. Your day is your most valuable resource. If you waste it, you waste the potential to move forward in the direction of your dreams. The key is not to fill your day with random tasks or fleeting distractions, but to prioritize what matters most. The first step in this process is understanding your goals clearly. Once you know what you want, every moment of your day should be a step toward that outcome. Your environment and the routines you establish are what determine how effectively you use your time. For most people, their days are filled with reactive behaviors, responding to emails, checking notifications, jumping from one task to the next without a clear focus. This reactive approach erodes your ability to be consistent because you're allowing external forces to dictate your day. To truly build consistency, you must create systems that proactively support your goals. These systems, whether they are morning routines, time blocking, or task prioritization, provide structure and clarity, enabling you to stay on course despite distractions. They ensure that you're not just busy, but productive in a way that advances your long-term vision. The habits that form your day are crucial in reinforcing consistency. Habits are the behaviors that operate automatically without thought. But the power of a habit lies in its consistency. If you want to build lasting habits, they need to be embedded into your daily routine. Successful people often rely on a set of daily rituals that align with their goals. This could be something as simple as starting the day with exercise, dedicating time to deep work, or ending the day with a moment of reflection. The more you align your habits with your goals, the easier it becomes to be consistent in your efforts. And with each day you follow through, your habits begin to reinforce themselves, creating a snowball effect that leads to compound results over time. Systems provide the structure that makes consistency easier to maintain. Rather than relying on willpower or motivation, successful individuals design systems that minimize the need for constant decision-making. A system might involve automating certain tasks, such as meal prepping for the week, setting specific time blocks for focused work, or creating a to-do list that you follow every day. The beauty of these systems lies in their simplicity. They reduce the cognitive load and make it easier to follow through because they eliminate the need for constant choices. You don't need to be motivated to make decisions every day. Instead, your systems become the guiding force that ensures you stay consistent and focused. Accountability is another vital element that turns consistency from a fleeting effort into a long-term practice. While self-discipline and internal motivation are important, external accountability can be the catalyst that drives you to stay on track. It can come in many forms: a mentor, a peer group, or even a public commitment to your goals. When others are watching, you are more likely to follow through on your commitments. Accountability partners don't just remind you to stay focused, they hold up a mirror to your progress, challenge you to stay true to your word, and encourage you when your resolve weakens. Surrounding yourself with people who share your values and goals amplifies your own consistency and reinforces your commitment to growth. In addition to external accountability, personal accountability is just as important. This is the internal resolve to keep promises to yourself, even when there's no one else around to remind you. Personal accountability is the foundation of self-trust. When you make a commitment to yourself, whether it's to wake up at 5 a.m. to work or to spend an hour writing every day, following through on that commitment builds your self-respect. Each time you hold yourself accountable, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of achieving your goals, which in turn strengthens your consistency. Over time, this accountability becomes a positive feedback loop. Keeping promises to yourself leads to greater trust in your own abilities, which leads to more consistent actions. Another crucial component in maintaining consistency is focus. In our fast-paced world, distractions are everywhere. The ability to stay focused on what matters is what separates those who succeed from those who fall behind. To stay focused, you must be deliberate about where you put your attention. This means eliminating distractions, setting boundaries, and learning to say no to things that don't align with your goals. Focus requires effort, but the rewards are immense. The more focused you are, the more you can immerse yourself in the tasks that will move you forward, and the easier it becomes to make those tasks a consistent part of your day. The best way to foster focus is to eliminate decision fatigue, create a distraction-free environment, and consistently remind yourself why your goals are important. The practice of consistency is not about grand gestures or overnight transformations. It's about showing up every day, no matter how you feel, and doing the work that moves you closer to your vision. The systems you put in place, the habits you build, the accountability you maintain, and the focus you cultivate all work together to make consistency a part of your daily life. With each passing day, consistency becomes less of a choice and more of an instinct, a natural part of who you are. And through this steady, unyielding practice, you will find that success isn't something you achieve, it's something you become. Chapter 6. Adapting to Challenges. Life rarely unfolds as we expect. Even the most well-laid plans are subject to unexpected obstacles, delays, and challenges. Yet, it's not the absence of challenges that defines success, but how we handle them when they arise. The ability to adapt to setbacks and maintain momentum despite the obstacles in our path is the hallmark of a resilient individual. In the pursuit of long-term goals, setbacks are inevitable. The question is, how do you respond when things go wrong? Handling setbacks without breaking momentum is an art that separates those who succeed from those who falter. It's easy to be driven when things are smooth and progress seems effortless. But when the inevitable roadblocks appear, whether they are failures, delays, or unforeseen complications, how we respond determines our ability to keep going. One of the greatest misconceptions is that setbacks are a sign of failure. In reality, they are a natural part of the journey. The key is to see these moments not as dead ends, but as temporary detours. Every obstacle presents an opportunity for learning, growth, and refinement. The first step in handling setbacks is to maintain perspective. It's natural to feel frustration, disappointment, or discouragement when things don't go as planned, but these feelings are temporary. A setback does not define you or your potential for success. Instead of allowing negative emotions to derail your progress, acknowledge them and then shift your focus to the next step. Break the setback into manageable pieces. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What adjustments can I make to get back on track? By keeping your focus on action, rather than getting caught up in emotional reactions, you preserve your momentum and stay committed to your end goal. Resilience is the cornerstone of consistency, especially in the face of adversity. It's easy to be consistent when the path is clear, but true resilience is tested in the face of challenges. Resilience doesn't mean that you won't feel the impact of a setback. It means that despite the difficulties, you will continue to move forward. Resilience is built through repetition, the act of pushing through discomfort, staying focused when things are tough, and persevering when you don't feel like it. Each time you bounce back from a challenge, you strengthen your ability to handle the next one and the next, until resilience becomes a core part of your character. One of the most powerful traits of resilient individuals is their ability to learn from mistakes. Rather than viewing mistakes as failures, they see them as stepping stones. Every mistake carries with it valuable information about what works and what doesn't, and learning from these moments is what enables you to course correct and move forward. This process of continual improvement is essential for growth. Each time you make a mistake, you gain clarity on how to refine your approach. You adjust, adapt, and try again, with greater insight and experience. This feedback loop of trial and error isn't something to be feared, it's a tool for success. By embracing mistakes as opportunities for learning, you can quickly adapt your strategy and remain on course. Course correction is not about abandoning your goals or vision when faced with difficulty. It's about adjusting your approach so that you can keep moving forward, even when the path changes. In any long-term pursuit, there will be moments when things don't unfold as expected. In these moments, resilience requires a level of flexibility, being willing to adjust your methods, tactics, or even timelines without losing sight of the end goal. If one route doesn't work, it doesn't mean the destination is unreachable. It simply means there's another way. This ability to pivot, to adjust your course based on what you've learned, ensures that setbacks don't derail your progress, but rather propel you towards success in a new, more informed direction. Moreover, building resilience is an ongoing process. It's not something that magically appears when you face adversity. It's a habit that's developed through the way you approach everyday challenges. By consistently taking small risks, stepping outside of your comfort zone, and testing your limits, you gradually become more comfortable with uncertainty and more adept at handling setbacks. Each challenge you face and overcome adds a layer of resilience to your foundation, allowing you to withstand bigger challenges in the future. Over time, your ability to maintain consistency in the face of adversity becomes second nature. Embracing challenges and adapting to them is also about reframing the way you view difficulty. Rather than seeing obstacles as insurmountable, they become part of the process. Growth, achievement, and mastery are born from adversity. If everything came easily, there would be no opportunity for growth. The value of a challenge lies in how it forces you to evolve, to stretch beyond your comfort zone, and to test your limits. The path to success is not linear, and challenges are the markers that indicate you are pushing yourself to new heights. At times, setbacks may even feel like failures, instances where you feel you've taken a step backward instead of forward. These are the moments that require the most resilience. When failure seems to loom large, the temptation is to give up, to walk away, or to tell yourself that success is not meant for you. But it's precisely in these moments that resilience is forged. The true measure of success is not how many times you fall, but how many times you rise. By reframing failure as part of the journey and not a reflection of your potential, you build the strength to keep going. Each challenge is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you can overcome, adapt, and thrive. It's through these challenges that your character is developed, and through these trials, you come to understand the true meaning of consistency. Resilience in the face of difficulty creates the foundation on which consistency can thrive. Without the ability to adapt, consistency would be impossible. Yet, with resilience, consistency becomes a powerful force that keeps you moving forward, no matter the obstacles in your way. Chapter 7. The Influence of Environment and Support. Success is not achieved in isolation. Our environment plays a crucial role in shaping our ability to maintain habits and pursue long-term goals. The people around us, the physical spaces we inhabit, and the cultural forces we engage with all have a profound impact on our consistency. To build and sustain the habits of high achievers, it's not enough to simply rely on willpower. Your surroundings, both immediate and broader, must be intentionally crafted to align with your goals. The physical environment in which you spend most of your time is one of the most significant factors influencing your ability to maintain consistency. A cluttered, chaotic space breeds distractions and creates mental fatigue, which can easily derail your focus. On the other hand, an organized, purpose-driven environment can make it easier to maintain the discipline needed to follow through on your commitments. Every element in your environment sends a signal to your subconscious, either reinforcing your goals or working against them. Small changes in your surroundings can have an outsized impact on your productivity and focus. For instance, creating a dedicated workspace for your work or study can help you mentally separate leisure from labor. Similarly, minimizing distractions, such as turning off notifications, setting boundaries with others, or organizing your workspace, can prevent your focus from being easily disrupted. The key is to curate an environment that consistently nudges you toward your desired outcomes. The people you surround yourself with are equally influential in maintaining consistency. We are social creatures, and our behaviors, attitudes, and habits are often shaped by those around us. If you are surrounded by people who prioritize growth, discipline, and achievement, their influence will elevate your own aspirations and actions. Conversely, if you're surrounded by negativity, complacency, or those who lack ambition, it becomes significantly harder to stay consistent in your efforts. Building a supportive network is essential for long-term success. This network should consist of people who encourage you, hold you accountable, and push you to perform at your best. The presence of such individuals serves as a constant reminder of the standards you've set for yourself, and their influence can help keep you focused when challenges arise. When you interact with people who share your values, it becomes easier to stay motivated because you are constantly reminded that success is a collective endeavor. A supportive community provides both practical advice and emotional support, helping you maintain the consistency needed to reach your goals. In addition to your immediate circle of family and friends, mentorship plays a pivotal role in maintaining consistency. A mentor, someone who has walked the path you are on and achieved what you aspire to, offers invaluable guidance, wisdom, and encouragement. Mentors act as mirrors, reflecting back your strengths and areas for improvement. They provide perspective during difficult moments, help you navigate setbacks, and offer actionable advice to accelerate your progress. Mentorship is not just about learning the technical skills required to achieve your goals, but about cultivating the mindset and habits of those who have succeeded before you. A mentor's experience serves as a map, guiding you through the challenges and uncertainties you encounter on your journey. Mentorship is not limited to one-on-one relationships. It can also be found in the form of books, podcasts, or other resources created by experts in the field. The key is to seek out those who have already achieved the success you desire and learn from their experiences. These insights, combined with your personal efforts, provide a solid foundation for long-term consistency. However, mentorship goes beyond just receiving advice. It also involves accountability. A mentor holds you to a higher standard, ensuring that you follow through on the commitments you make. This accountability adds another layer of motivation, making it more difficult to slip into complacency. When you know someone is watching, you are more likely to maintain the consistency needed to achieve your goals. The role of community is equally powerful in reinforcing consistency. Being part of a group that shares your goals creates a sense of collective responsibility. Whether it's a group of like-minded individuals working toward fitness goals, a mastermind group focused on business success, or a group of writers committed to writing daily, the power of community cannot be overstated. In these communities, you find motivation, inspiration, and accountability. You share your wins, your struggles, and your progress, and in doing so, you reinforce the behaviors that lead to success. What makes a community effective is not just the shared goals, but the shared commitment to consistency. A strong community provides both support and challenge, encouraging you to push through difficult moments, stay consistent with your efforts, and celebrate your achievements together. The sense of belonging to a group that is working towards similar goals makes it easier to maintain your own consistency, as you see the collective progress and are encouraged to contribute to it. This sense of shared purpose creates a powerful synergy that strengthens your resolve and motivates you to keep going, even when the going gets tough. Moreover, the social aspect of community creates a feedback loop of encouragement and support. When your efforts are celebrated by others, it reinforces the importance of staying consistent, and when you contribute to the success of others, it reminds you of your own potential. In this way, community becomes a powerful force that nurtures and sustains the habits necessary for long-term achievement. Creating a supportive environment, both physically and socially, is an ongoing process. It requires intentionality, effort, and continuous adaptation. Surrounding yourself with people who challenge you, support you, and hold you accountable ensures that you don't have to rely solely on your own willpower to stay consistent. With the right environment and the right support system in place, your path to success becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Chapter 8. Long-term results. What consistency yields. The true power of consistency reveals itself over time. While short-term efforts can lead to immediate gratification or quick wins, it's in the long run that the cumulative impact of consistent actions is most evident. Progress doesn't always show up in dramatic bursts, but rather through steady, incremental improvements. It's easy to become disheartened when we don't see immediate results, but the key to long-term success lies in the consistent, relentless pursuit of our goals, day after day, month after month. Measuring growth and progress is a delicate balance of observation and patience. While immediate feedback can be motivating, long-term growth often requires a broader perspective. We tend to focus on the short-term results, comparing ourselves to where we think we should be. However, true progress is more accurately reflected in how far we've come, not just in what we see in the moment. It's helpful to occasionally step back and assess our journey from a distance rather than constantly seeking immediate validation. When we do so, we can begin to see the compound effect of our consistent actions. A year of disciplined effort, for example, can show up in ways we couldn't have anticipated at the outset. That's why it's critical to measure growth with patience and understanding, recognizing that even when the results seem small or insignificant, they are contributing to a larger transformation. Growth is never linear, and the path to success is not always marked by visible signs of progress. There will be times when the effort feels invisible, when you're putting in the work day after day without seeing tangible results. These are the moments that test your commitment. But if you stick with it, you will find that small steps forward accumulate into massive leaps over time. This is the magic of consistency, the invisible forces that shape your future when you're not looking. In fact, some of the most profound growth happens during periods when you feel stagnant. Just as a tree grows underground before it breaks through the soil, your consistent efforts are laying the groundwork for success, often beneath the surface. Persistent effort doesn't just result in skill improvement or achieving set goals. It has the power to create a life of significant accomplishments. Every successful person's journey is punctuated by seemingly insignificant daily actions that, when compounded over time, lead to extraordinary outcomes. The person who writes a page every day, the one who works out every morning, or the individual who dedicates an hour each day to learning will, over time, outperform those who rely on bursts of motivation or erratic bursts of effort. The work may not always feel exciting in the moment, but it's precisely in that persistence that true mastery is achieved. It's not the big breakthroughs, but the smaller moments of unwavering effort that build a solid foundation for long-term success. The long-term results of consistency can be seen not only in achievements, but in the transformation of who we become. Our habits shape us, molding our character, our mindset, and our capacity for achievement. Over time, Consistency builds not just skills or material accomplishments, but the very essence of who we are. A consistent effort toward personal growth transforms you from someone who is simply trying to reach a goal into someone who is defined by a mindset of achievement. It turns fleeting motivation into a lifestyle, a mindset that becomes deeply ingrained in your daily routines and actions. In both personal and professional life, the impact of consistency is profound and far-reaching. Consistent efforts shape your reputation, your network, and the opportunities available to you. In the professional world, it's often the consistent performer, the one who reliably delivers, who consistently shows up, and who steadily improves, who gains recognition, promotions, and lasting success. This consistency in professional life not only leads to career advancement, but also builds trust and respect, which are essential for long-term success. Colleagues, clients, and partners are more likely to trust someone whose actions align with their promises, and this trust becomes the foundation for lasting relationships and business success. On a personal level, consistency breeds self-confidence and self-respect. The ability to consistently show up for yourself, whether it's for your health, relationships, or personal development, builds a sense of integrity. You begin to trust yourself more because you have proven to yourself that you can follow through on commitments. This trust in your own actions influences all aspects of life, creating a foundation for personal fulfillment and resilience. Over time, this consistency in small actions leads to exponential growth in your character, helping you become the person you aspire to be. Ultimately, the most significant long-term result of consistency is the transformation it brings to every area of your life. From financial success to personal growth, relationships to health, consistent habits shape the person you become and the legacy you leave. Achievements are no longer just about reaching a distant goal. They become a byproduct of the consistent, deliberate actions you take day after day. The results you see today are simply the seeds of the efforts you sowed in the past. And as you continue to show up consistently, the future you envision becomes an inevitable reality, built on the foundation of everything you've done up until this point. Chapter 9. Turning consistency into a lifestyle. True consistency is not just about adhering to a set of habits for a period of time. It is about integrating those habits into the very fabric of your life, making them an essential part of who you are. To turn consistency into a lifestyle, it requires reshaping how you view effort and achievement. It's about fostering an inner commitment that sees your daily actions as part of a greater, ongoing process rather than isolated tasks or temporary goals. One of the most powerful ways to make consistency a part of your lifestyle is by shaping your daily environment to support the principles of consistency. This doesn't just involve creating external structures like schedules or routines, though those are important. It's about aligning your mindset with the idea that every small action you take today is a piece of the larger puzzle of your life's work. When you start to view your efforts as part of a greater mission, the daily grind becomes less of a chore and more of a natural expression of who you are. This shift in perspective makes it easier to incorporate consistent actions into your life because it removes the pressure of perfection. You stop focusing on immediate results or the need for every action to be monumental. Instead, you begin to embrace the process. Life doesn't require grand gestures all the time. What it demands is persistence, an unwavering commitment to showing up, even on days when the progress seems invisible. As you continue to show up in small ways, those small actions naturally accumulate, creating a much larger, more meaningful impact over time. As your life starts to align with the principles of consistency, you begin to find joy in routine and structure. Routine often gets a bad reputation as something rigid or uninspired. However, for high achievers, routine is a source of freedom. Structure provides the foundation on which creativity, energy, and growth can thrive. When you establish a daily rhythm based on consistent actions, it frees you from the constant mental strain of decision-making and enables you to focus your energy on what truly matters. There is a deep sense of satisfaction in having a routine that supports your highest aspirations. This kind of structure also brings a sense of calm and stability, allowing you to move through life with greater ease. Rather than feeling overwhelmed by the demands of day-to-day living, you begin to approach each day with confidence because you have a system in place that guides you. When you know exactly how to structure your day around the actions that matter most, you can find joy in the simplicity and effectiveness of the process. The routine doesn't limit you. It sets you free to be more intentional, more present, and more aligned with your deeper goals. As you weave consistency into the fabric of your daily existence, you begin to see that small, seemingly insignificant efforts compound over time. Every action, no matter how small, contributes to a much larger outcome. The key to lifelong achievement is recognizing that these small efforts, repeated day after day, lead to mastery. It's not about waiting for a single moment of greatness to define your success. It's about the steady, unglamorous work that accumulates over the years and propels you toward your goals, often in ways that are not immediately apparent. Over time, these small efforts become part of your identity. They shape the way you approach every area of your life, from your personal growth to your professional achievements. Each action reinforces the belief that you are capable of achieving great things, not because of one extraordinary effort, but because of the ongoing consistency you've cultivated. This deep sense of self-trust becomes the bedrock upon which all future success is built. By turning consistency into a lifestyle, you create a powerful feedback loop of growth and progress. With each small effort, you reinforce your identity as someone who achieves. The more you see the results of your consistent actions, the more you come to understand the vast potential that consistency holds for your life. Each success, no matter how small, becomes a stepping stone to the next. And as this cycle continues, the accomplishments that seemed far-fetched in the beginning start to feel inevitable. What makes this process truly transformative is that it goes beyond personal achievement. As consistency becomes a part of your lifestyle, it ripples out into every area of your life, influencing your relationships, health, mindset, and even your impact on others. The routines and habits you cultivate are not just for your benefit. They become the foundation of a life that is grounded in purpose, intention, and growth. By making consistency a lifestyle, you create a legacy of achievement that extends far beyond your own ambitions, positively impacting everyone around you. In essence, turning consistency into a lifestyle means embracing a philosophy of sustained effort, patience, and incremental progress. It's about recognizing that the path to greatness is not found in dramatic moments, but in the daily, consistent actions that, over time, build a life of purpose, fulfillment, and accomplishment. Chapter 10. The Legacy of Consistency. Consistency, when cultivated over time, becomes far more than just a personal success tool. It extends outward, touching the lives of others in profound and unexpected ways. The true power of consistency is realized not in its immediate impact, but in the ripple effect it creates, influencing the people around you and inspiring them to take similar actions in their own lives. Every action you take, no matter how small, has the potential to inspire, teach, and shape those who observe your journey. It's in the quiet, daily dedication to growth that you become a role model, leading not by words, but by the example you set. When you live a life of consistent effort, you begin to radiate an energy that others can't help but notice. People are drawn to those who show up regularly, who do the work without needing validation or recognition, and who persist in the face of obstacles. In many cases, your consistency will speak louder than anything you could say. It becomes an unspoken message that effort matters, that small steps lead to big results, and that success is a product of daily discipline. In this way, your actions serve as a blueprint for others to follow, even if they never explicitly ask for it. The ripple effect extends beyond your immediate circle. Consistent actions create a culture of excellence, spreading through teams, communities, and even families. When one person demonstrates a commitment to growth, it creates an environment where others feel encouraged to do the same. This is especially true when those around you see not only your successes, but also your failures and your ability to rise after setbacks. The way you handle adversity becomes a lesson in resilience. Your ability to maintain composure and continue moving forward even when things aren't going well serves as a powerful example for others who may be facing similar struggles. By consistently showing up, you build a foundation of trust and inspiration that impacts everyone in your orbit. High achievers naturally inspire others through their consistent habits. The results of their discipline are often visible, but it is the process itself that holds the true power. The quiet dedication to growth, the persistence through failure, and the refusal to give up on goals, these are the characteristics that make high achievers magnetic. They do not need to flaunt their success because their habits speak for them. Whether it's a leader at work, a parent at home, or a mentor in a community, the impact of consistent action leaves an indelible mark on the people they encounter. These high achievers create a standard, not through perfection, but through unwavering commitment to their craft, to their health, or to their purpose. What makes consistency so powerful is that it doesn't require greatness to begin. It only asks for commitment. Over time, this commitment shapes a legacy that endures long after the individual's efforts have ceased. The legacy of consistency is one of continuous improvement, where each day is a new opportunity to grow and contribute. It's in this constant state of evolution that high achievers create a lasting impact, not just through their personal accomplishments, but through the way they elevate those around them. When consistency is the cornerstone of one's life, it becomes a source of ongoing improvement, constantly pushing the individual and those in their sphere toward greater heights. The legacy of consistency is not simply about personal achievement. It is about leaving a trail that others can follow, a path built from the lessons learned through perseverance and sustained effort. It's about creating a space where others feel empowered to take on challenges, develop their own consistent habits, and ultimately build their own legacies of impact. The high achiever's legacy isn't just in what they accomplish, but in the way they show others that consistent action, no matter how small, can lead to extraordinary results. By embodying the power of consistency, they pave the way for others to achieve their own successes, ensuring that their impact transcends their own lifetime. True legacy, then, is built on the foundation of continuous improvement. A life spent refining one's habits, tackling new challenges, and consistently striving for excellence not only creates results, but also cultivates an environment where growth is the norm. This environment nurtures future generations of high achievers, each building on the legacy of consistency, passing it forward to create even greater ripples in the world. Through consistency, a person doesn't just achieve their goals, they become part of a larger story, one of transformation, inspiration, and enduring influence. Conclusion. The journey to success is not paved with one-time triumphs or flashes of brilliance, but with the steady, often unseen efforts made every single day. Consistency, when practiced with dedication and purpose, becomes the quiet force that transforms ambition into reality. It is not the loudest or most dramatic efforts that make the biggest impact, but the small, persistent actions taken over time, day after day. This is the foundation on which enduring success is built. In the course of this journey, it becomes evident that consistency isn't merely a habit, it is a lifestyle. It shapes the way you approach challenges, pursue goals, and even how you interact with those around you. By committing to consistent action, you not only forge your path toward personal achievement, but create an environment where others can thrive as well. Your progress becomes a reflection of the mindset, discipline, and resilience that fuel your pursuit, and it is this very energy that encourages others to take action toward their own aspirations. The beauty of consistency lies in its ability to compound. The seemingly small actions you take today are the seeds that grow into monumental achievements. And as you continue to show up, even when faced with adversity, the cumulative effect of your effort builds momentum, transforming your life in ways that are far beyond what you initially imagined. This is the power of consistency, the power to move from where you are to where you want to be, with every small step bringing you closer to your true potential. As you reflect on the principles explored throughout this book, remember that the true measure of success lies not in the grand moments, but in the day-to-day commitment to continuous improvement. The impact of consistency is long-lasting, leaving a legacy that will echo through your own life and beyond. Each small effort you make today contributes to the bigger picture of your future, one that is shaped by your dedication, persistence, and unwavering belief in the power of consistency. Let this be the final takeaway. By consistently committing to growth, to your goals, and to your values, you have the power to create a life of purpose, fulfillment, and influence. The journey is yours, and each step you take toward consistency is a step toward the greatness you are destined to achieve. Keep showing up, keep putting in the effort, and watch as the simple act of consistency transforms your life in ways that exceed even your highest expectations.